Sorry, I mean to say 2023. I'm not sure not going backward to 2020 anymore. I'm sorry about that.
A lot of people are still used to that 2022. So
yeah, exactly. So want to thank every one of you that have been part of our success last year throughout 2022. We'll try to bring you update, and I hope that this year will be a new year and a better year for us all. I want to say a big thank you. Now, how do you celebrate your Christmas, I guess?
Well, it all went well.
No, you're Muslim, so how do you celebrate the New Year?
Yeah, the New Year is, it just starting. So, and we all observed the crossover night, and it's successful. So, I think virtually every part of Nigeria it went a successful, hitch-free celebration. So, and Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you too.
And I think this year has more of energy and potential because it's the year that Nigeria will be making a decision of who become their next president. So the year is very special to every Nigerian. Very special to every Nigerian. And I think for our viewers out there, I want to say a big thank you for waiting out for us, and also we're here for you. And at the same time, I want to say congratulations. We made it in 2023, and this year is a very good year for us. Today we're going to begin in all the top stories, not just the top stories, but we're giving you current updates from as usual. So just stay tuned and also follow us. Also, share our content. Do not forget, we are on social media handle on Facebook. Info as Spheric News, on Instagram as Spheric News, and also on our Twitter handle as Spheric News. Do not forget that we have a platform where you can read more of this content news directly on www.sphericnews.com, at sphericnews.com. In case you want to contact or is going to send us information on what is happening around your area, do not forget to call on us or send us a message only on WhatsApp plus 234 809999 998117, and I repeat plus 234 8099998117. Once again, I want to say Happy New Year. I wish you best of luck. This year will be a good year for everyone. For them, every Nigerians, and I think that we're definitely going to find a favor and also find the right candidate that will serve this nation. It's a new year and a year that we'll never forget in our lifetime. So on behalf of our Spheric TV and our Spheric News Department and other our partners, I want to say a big Happy New Year to everyone who has contributed earnestly in 2022. And also, I want to say this year is a better year. Please don't forget to share our content, and don't forget to watch our news live, like directly live, and also share on us. And we'll also bring you live of current updates on more activities, especially in politics. Because this 2 months will be itching on politics as well. What's the expectation? What do you expect in next 2 months? Because we have just less than 2 months to Nigerian general election. Yeah. Yes.
Well, like every Nigerian, we are looking forward to at least getting it right this time around to say, okay, if we believe that the past administration, I don't mean Buhari administration only, I'm talking about the past, we should be able to to push forward to say, okay, we'll get it right in 2023 now that we're in by February election. When we get it right, we'll know quite okay that in the next 4 years, Nigeria we're not seeing that it's going to be too smooth. It's not going to be too smooth, but let's get the right person who assemble the right team to pilot Nigeria between 2023 to 2027. That is what we are eager to see, and that is what every Nigerian is praying towards getting it. So we pray we get it right this time around.
First, is discussed today will be on Nation newspaper. So on Nation newspaper, we have the top story there is letter that was written by President Olusegun Obasanjo. That was 3 days ago. 3 days ago, yes. It's Obasanjo endorsed P2B. You could recall that Labour Party presidential candidate has been endorsed by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. For him, good luck to him. And so there's different reply, especially from PDP, APC, and other.
Even the presidency too decided to
on the present government. So when you read that according to the Nation newspaper, it says Obasanjo is jealous for said presidency. I really do not know when they say someone is jealous for said presidency. And also we have Wike presidential endorsement of Obi staying on Atiku, backing for Labour Party presidential candidate inconsequential. These are stories. Also, we have another story there. 4 killed in gunmen attack on Hakeem convoy. You know, he made a statement of that 2 days ago. Nigeria raises concern over rising of COVID-19 cases in China. And also, we have police confirmed transfer of men from Ajah division. So that have been trading over the weekend. Tinubu insists petrol subsidy must go. The society must go. So let's look at
excuse me,
the policy of the incoming presidential, let's say incoming president. So let me say, the policy of presidential candidate of APC. You know, why he's saying that subsidy must go. But if you recall recently that if you do a thorough search, you find out that gradually subsidies begin to phase out. Because marketers have begun to, get their ground to do their independent marketing. Somebody said something yesterday. Aviation fuel is very scarce. That was the delay of flight this period. Very scarce. But one thing you find out that air tickets have dropped to 40, but not all. Because I know that within the first period with that, some tickets some Nigerians did, and if you check the online, it's 40,000, 45,000. Because the market was open, more people were
traveling.
No, more people were allowed to get into the market to operate as an independent operators. So we have more aircraft on ground, and more people were given approval. Do you understand? So when you said subsidy must go, Alhaji, how can he tackle that?
Well, thank you very much. Let's not forget that the presidential candidate of the APC is not like operating in vacuum. It's a kind of continuation of this present administration. That is eventually if they clinch power by February this year. So it's going to be like a continuation of what the present administration has been doing. So, and categorically it's coming out to say, look, subsidy must go. Let's not forget that the present administration too has been talking about removing this subsidy, but it's somehow a bit difficult for them to just come out openly and completely remove it and decide to go like that. But now you have all the presidential candidates are coming out to churn out their different plans to say this is what I will do regarding this or regarding that. Well, I believe that the presidential candidate of APC is like trying to look into it very well now to say, look, as long as subsidy remain, certain amount of money that's supposed to form the core aspect of the revenue for Nigeria is going into subsidizing the fuel for Nigerians. Well, it's not like subsidy per se is bad. Subsidy per se is not bad because even if in advanced economy, you have the government subsidizing certain aspect of life to make it more easier for the citizenry. And now here, the APC is now saying that, look, I'm going to remove it. He will damn all the consequences to say, okay, I remove it. Because towards the end of last quarter of last year, the government budgeted over 4 trillion to service the subsidy. And that is the kind of money now that the government of the presidential candidate of APC is saying that, look, I'm going to remove it. Whether it's going to succeed in doing that is all about how Nigerians are going to react towards it. But let's not forget that, look, back then in 2014, the present administration, of which is APC, they were vehemently against the subsidy removal. So it's like we are trying to play politics behind everything. But in this time around, all of us, every Nigerian is bearing the brunt of this issue of this subsidy. Large amount of money that's supposed to go into developmental project is what is being used to run the subsidy. And the choice will be on the part of Nigerians to say, okay, look, are we going to accept this to remove this subsidy? By the time they remove this subsidy, and we are going to pay much more higher, eventually, if all the refineries are working, eventually we are going to see a kind of a drop in price. Take, for instance, the issue of communication, the GSM. When GSM first came out in 2001 to 2002, it was the billing was so high. But today now, you now discover that at least it's a bit affordable to the extent that even the SIM card itself that was bought around 50,000 naira, then now the SIM card is almost like free today.
It's free. Yeah.
So I believe that by the time the next administration whoever will become the winner decide to say, okay, look, I will do away with this subsidy. You understand? They will now channel the money that's supposed to go into subsidy into some other developmental project. Take, for instance, like we have a good and working, thriving railway system across Nigeria. So you discover that the transportation will be much more easier because we are talking about mass transit, whereby it will be much more affordable. Like, for instance, Nigerians now are enjoying this mass transit from Kaduna to Abuja and from Lagos to Ibadan through rail. You now discover that some people are living in Ibadan and they are working in Lagos, or working in Ibadan and living in Lagos, making it the transportation much more easier. So the choice will be on Nigerians to say, look, are we going to accept the subsidy removal for our own benefit? It's all about how the government decide to communicate with Nigerians and how Nigerians decide to respond to it. So, but we pray that the next administration get it right, so that the suffering will be a bit much more easier for us here.
All right. So let's also look at the letter from the former President Obasanjo. So that story has been trending for the past 3 days. Most people were most concerned that he's, according to the presidency, he's
jealous.
Not just jealous, like he's
corrupt.
Yeah, his government was so corrupt.
It was so corrupt. Yeah.
Yes, there's so many comments coming out from there. And even the All Progressive Congress spokesperson also replied. Then PDP also did their own reply. And why is there jittering?
Well, let's start from the aspect of the accusation of Obasanjo's administration corrupt. I don't want to say it that way, that Obasanjo administration between 1999 to 2007 was corrupt. If it is corrupt, let's not forget that, look, it was Obasanjo that bettered EFCC, ICPC, and these are the two critical agencies that are fighting the corruption in Nigeria today. So whatever the case, we should give him credit for being able to come up with these two agencies, two strong agencies that are fighting corruption. Well, the other aspect to say, okay, there is G3. Let's not forget that, look, Obasanjo, if you look at the modern Nigeria today, Obasanjo remained the father figure that's continued to have input in every administration since 2007 that he left power. And he continued to write this letter to draw the attention of the government, and he is the only person that will come out boldly to say, look, among the former leaders of Nigeria, to criticize any administration, to say, look, you are not doing well, do well in this area and do well in that area. Well, in this time around, he decided to endorse Peter Obi, and his excuse that he gave for the endorsement of Peter Obi is on equity. He said, look, from 1999 to date, the North has ruled, the South has ruled, and the South that has ruled, the Southwest has ruled. So, and currently the Southwest is the holder of the Vice President of Nigeria, and excluding the North, the Southeast, and that is why he decided to say, look, come out openly to say, look, if we want equity, if we want inclusiveness, there's no touring around or playing around with this thing, that the Southeast should produce the next president, and that is why he decided to throw his support behind it. Sad that the current administration, they are not happy with it, because they view the endorsement and other aspect of the criticism as an attack on the president. To me, it's in order, because if we want to talk about a nationalistic leader, as far as Nigeria is concerned today, is President Olusegun Obasanjo, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and supporting Peter Obi. And let's not forget that, look, Peter Obi is one the new kid on the block that has been making that wave. So it's like all along, APC is used to the main opposition, which is the PDP. But this time around, it's no longer the business as usual of PDP against APC. This time around, both APC and the PDP, they are dealing with a new kind of a new force, whereby they are seeing it as unstoppable. Whether it's going to materialize or not, all is about between now and the next 1 month to see how it goes. But if you ask me, I will say, look, APC is going to receive a serious threat from Labour Party as well as PDP. And that is why he now decided to see the level of criticism, the level of attack against Obasanjo's endorsement from even the presidency and the PDP. So it's not left for them to now say, look, Obasanjo has done his own. Labour Party too will not just go back and rely to say, look, because of that endorsement, we are going to relax. No, they will continue to do their own campaign and continue to dialogue and talk to people around the diverse Nigeria to say to get that support towards electing Peter Obi come February 2023.
All right, so on the Nation newspaper, we still have, just briefly, they looked at the 4 person that was killed, like on a gunman that was attacking Hakim. If you recall, he said that he actually felt like a dead man at the point this incident happened. Maybe the sound of gunshot and repeated gunshot and all of that when he was attacked. Then also, let's also look at the high rates of COVID-19 in China, and Nigerians are concerned about the cases that are coming out. Let's just try and look at those topics.
Yeah, it's really sad that if throughout last year we keep on discussing this insecurity, and this year again we are going to start 2023 discussing insecurity again. So the sad part of this insecurity, which is happening in Southeast, is quite unusual. Let's not forget, apart from the issue of maybe robbery here and there and the issue of kidnapping there, but this time around we are dealing with new monster which is terrorism in the Southeast. This is something that is avoidable, and nobody could be able to come out openly to tell you exactly what is happening in Southeast. This time around, last time it was an attack on Ifan Yuba in Anambra, and this time around is Hakim, former governor of Imo State. Sad that lives have been lost. Well, we pray that the security agencies, they should be put their hands on the deck to be able to solve this problem of this insecurity in Southeast. I believe that just like we have been clamoring on this platform here, we have been saying this thing that look, everything cannot be solved through military confrontation. The government should be able to put down the foundation to say, okay, look, let's dialogue, let's go on the table and discuss how to get out of this problem, instead of allowing it to linger, whereby some saboteurs will take key into this and we decide to sabotage the effort of the government by creating the insecurity, because you are not seeing attack on people that are top hierarchy people. By the time this thing continues like this, from the top hierarchy, it will now fall back to the common people on the street too. So government should be able to handle this issue amicably to resolve it, instead of allowing it to linger and degenerate to something else. Well, the other aspect, which is the COVID-19 in China, it's a source of concern to everybody around the world, not only in Africa here. It's just that we in Africa here we have not been able to do enough. You see, in Canada, Australia, and even some other European countries, even in America, they are slamming travelers ban that are coming from China into their country, because they wouldn't want to take that risk again. To now, initially the COVID-19 that happened in 2020, it started from Wuhan in China, and this time around again, while the incidences of COVID-19 has subsided or phased out from other parts of the world, it's now decided to come up again in China. And you will now discover that the advanced countries are saying, look, China is not providing enough information regarding what is happening in their country, because China is a police state whereby it's not like an open state. It's not like an open country whereby the information can easily be sourced. And there are scientists there. They are not collaborating with international scientists to know the type of variants that is ravaging China now. That is why he now decided to say, look, almost all the countries around the Western world are now slamming travel restriction on their citizens going to China, and as well as people coming all the way from China. It's not left for Nigeria now to say, look, government should be able to do the needful now. They shouldn't allow this issue of this COVID-19 from China to be imported into Nigeria, because we can't afford it. Election is coming. If we decide to say, okay, we allow it to penetrate here, and the government decide to say, okay, lockdown, it means we are not going to hold an election again. So instead of allowing that, they should create that restriction, travel restriction. If you are coming from China, isolate whoever is coming from China, isolate that person to remain in isolation center for 2 weeks, study that person before they allowed him to mingle with Nigerians. That is the way I see it. Yeah.
Okay, in Daily Trust we have scarcity of new naira note worries Nigerians. Most ATM dispense old notes. Hawkers of new note making bricks business.
Well, Doctor, this I saw this coming, because if you recall, between that Christmas time, if you go to ATM, when government is saying that, look, by end 15th, of this month,
no, it's the 15th,
it will go, they will phase out with this. But you go to ATM, the cash that they are dispensing is still that old naira note.
Even in the bank.
Even in the bank, what they are giving is this. It means that CBN did not plan this very well. If they plan it very, very well, by the time you take your money to the bank and you are getting any money from the bank, they should be able to give you the new naira note. But that is not the case this time around. So CBN did not plan it very well. If it's going to be like a failed thing, they should be able to come out openly now and say, look, we are not ready for this. And that is what we are seeing now, because even the way they are going now, even for the next 3 months, I don't see that possibility of phasing out the old naira note and being replaced with the new naira note. Let's not forget that there's some, although we have not been able to to prove it, some people are complaining that the new naira note is somehow it's not as authentic as the old naira note. That is not the case this time around. The case now is that at every point that you go to the ATM, what the ATM is dispensing is still the old naira note. It means that the CBN did not plan this very well. If they planned it very well, by now, at least 70% of the old naira notes supposed to have gone out of circulation, but that is not the case.
All right, let's look at the Punch newspaper. In this Punch newspaper, we have external reserve fall by 3.4 billion in 2022 report. Mobile subscriptions raised by 23 million, now 218 million. Does it mean our number has doubled to 218?
I
think most people also have 3-4 numbers.
3-4 numbers, and apart from that, some people decide to buy this for their modem on internet it's strictly for the internet. But the good thing is that have National Communication Commission and these mobile subscribers, have they been able to link all the numbers to the NIN? Because if they have not been able to do that, it means we are still going to deal with issue of the insecurity. By now, we are expecting that to say, look, if there's an insecurity problem anywhere, take for instance like the issue of bandit and kidnappers. If ransom is being paid, how are they communicating before they get the ransom being paid? So, and this is where we are looking at the aspect of saying, okay, mobile numbers that are in circulation all should be linked to the national identification, whereby government should be able to monitor wherever they use any mobile number to commit crime.
All right, so let's also look at the Vanguard. President Atiku Obasanjo says tenure represented dark days of democracy. The former president record not much for Buhari achievements.
Well, to me, if you ask me, I would say that there is no basis for comparison between administration that left in 2007 and the current administration, because we are talking about different variation in the revenue. If you look at when Obasanjo came, how much was the price of crude oil per barrel, and how much is the price of crude oil today, and how. So these are the two different administrations that there's no basis for comparison. The only thing that I believe that government is not always happy with it is, Obasanjo has been writing letter. If not just now, he wrote the letter against Goodluck Jonathan and supported Buhari in 2015, and then in 2019 again he supported Atiku. And but this time around he said, look, I'm supporting Peter Obi because of equity. We must allow equity and fairness to come into play. We are expecting that the presidency should just be like a statement and disregard the letter and just allow it to just go like that. But they are now responding to him. So let's see how it goes.
All right. There's a story here that I want us to look at very carefully. So the Southern and Middle Belt leaders met with the president and said they should, that he should sack the DGSS on behalf of Amefule.
Well,
you know about the story.
I know about the
controversial stories about him, misappropriation and all of that.
Misappropriation, the forex,
reserve and all of that.
Well, it's just sad that Amefule himself is not around in the country right now. So, and I believe
he's been away for a while now.
Yeah, he has been away, and certain kind of rumors that he ran away. So, but as long as he continued to remain there, that rumor will continue that he ran away. So, although we shouldn't forget that just last week, there's a court injunction given in Abuja by a high court in Abuja here that stopping both DSS and the IGP of police from arresting him. So the government should be able to, like, if government is clamoring.
The question is that what Nigeria said that if there is a court injunction stopping this arresting him,
yes,
there was also a court injunction stipulates that this man committed a crime. There's an investigation.
Well,
because allowing this these agencies, what they are trying to do is just to investigate, to find out whether if allegation according to him is alleged allegation, if allegation was true or not. Also, was also women protesting, some youth protesting on his behalf. Does it mean they are being paid?
Well, you are a resident of Abuja, and you may know
I need to hear from you
for little of this thing that how this protest. Well, the fact is that there's no immunity that protects governor of central bank from investigation. So the only thing that he secured now, both the police or the DSS, they can investigate him. The only immunity that is enjoying under the court now through injunction is stopping them from arresting him. They can invite him for questioning. But it's just sad that he himself is not around in the country now. So since he's not on the ground, that is why you now discover that it's now created that room whereby people now peddle all kind of rumors that he ran away. Let's not forget that we are talking about the number one man in charge of monetary policy in Nigeria, which is the CBN. So he's not supposed to be away. Take, for instance, that this issue of this naira that we are talking about, the scarcity of naira. It's not even around the country to do with the situation. Though the year is just beginning, and we almost all the organizations just return back from holiday, which is today, which officially today, probably before the end of the week, he will turn up. He will return back. Which officially today, probably before the end of the week, he will turn up.
But do you find it like when you looked at the number of complaints from Nigerians, especially he promised Nigerians that the money will be available on the 15th. So that was where his incidents happened, and at the same time, some governors also made it clear to him that look, some of my state people, they are not familiar with banking and finance. You should allow them to stock their money, give them 3 months or 5 months for them to return their money to the bank. Then you also have issues by the Meta Allah or something. And I'll say our money is actually stayed in the forest. Allow us to bring our money and also store them in the bank before begins your process of clamping down on old currency. So do you foresee this policy? Because if you arrest him, automatically Nigeria have lost control of that new currency. And don't forget that in the news we saw Secretary of Press Chief who arrested some Nigerians that already trading the fake naira. So what's your stake on all of this?
Well, it just
the implication of arresting him and what maybe Nigerian currency will face.
Well, it's just that the excuse that the DSS is using to go after him this time around is about the stamp duty, whereby unremitted stamp duty, whereby they are now, based on the investigation carried out by the National Assembly, they said, look, the amount of being deducted from every account on stamp duty by CBN is not remitted into the government coffer. And they are alleging that the CBN misappropriated it, and they are now linking Emefiele as a direct beneficiary to the misappropriation and the mismanagement of the stamp duty. That is where the DSS is basing on it. Well, the other aspect to say, okay, some governors are coming out to say, look, our people are not ready for banking system whereby their money will be, whereby they store their money in a non-conventional banking system, whereby it's not, that is not an excuse. Because as long as we have a nation, as far as we want a thriving economy, as long as we want an economy whereby there must be data, whereby government can monitor and plan the economy very well, certainly all the money in circulation, the liquidity cash ratio in circulation must have the input of the CBN, and that is exactly what the CBN is trying to do in this time around, to monitor the money control in circulation. But it's just sad that everything in Nigeria must have a political undertone. Political undertone in the sense that, look, at that particular time that the governor of CBN decided to roll out this new Naira note, that is where this criticism over his alleged misappropriation of money meant for stamp duty is coming out. So there must be...
So why the delay?
So there must be a kind of a foul play somewhere. And that foul play will continue to remain there because the man himself is not on ground right now. So all what people are saying is just a mere allegation, or even including the aspect of misappropriation of the stamp duty is still an allegation. But just that he's not around, we just pray that he himself should be able to come back to Nigeria between now and weekend, so that he should be able to answer. He's not immune to arrest, but although he has secured a court injunction, he's not immune. He doesn't have that immunity from that will stop from him from arrest. Even if there's even here that the governor will say, okay, the governor is enjoying an immunity from arrest, they can investigate a governor, and that is, for instance, if you see EFCC investigates some governors, but the only thing they cannot do is to arrest them. So in this case now, DSS has the right to arrest him, but he has already got that injunction. They should be able to investigate him, and he should be able to answer some questions that is begging for answer. He should come back to Nigeria, although they say there is undergoing some medical this in our overseas there, but he should come back. Even when he come back, he should be able to answer some questions.
All right, I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to say a big thank you for every one of you that have spent time to watch. So also don't forget to share our content if you interest. Also don't forget to drop your comment on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. I want to say a big thank you for spending time with us today. Tomorrow we'll come to your time, the same time tomorrow. We'll be with you same time tomorrow. Alhaji, what do you have to say finally about the whole story?
Well, the year is just beginning. Every Nigerian should have that high hope. We shouldn't be discouraged. We should have high hope. The task of nation building is on the shoulder of everyone. Everyone should be ready to contribute his own quota. It's not only about the government. It's not only about the minister or the president or any Labour Party or PDP or APC. We all have to play our role to make Nigeria work. And how do we do that? Election is coming up. Collect your PVC and make sure don't sell your vote. Don't sell your vote, because by the time you exchange money for your vote, you are selling your right. It means for the next 4 years, you don't have that mouth to talk. You don't have that mouth to criticize. You don't have that mouth to lampoon the government, to say, look, the government is not doing right, because you have already sold your moral right to do that.
Thank you so much. We have from Alhaji Abdullahi. He just said that you have the right to vote, and vote right. Make sure you try as much as possible to make it right just when it's time for you to vote. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day. Bye for now.